A lot of things, there's a lot of things that we come to accept because we become slaves to laws of limitation. And I'm going to do a breakdown soon on my podcast. I just did, obviously, that trilogy of Conan, 1984, and the Never Ending Story, for those of you who've checked that out. But, you know, um, I'm not going to add it. It's going to be something else. The Island of Dr. Moreau. The first film came out in 1977, but the book was written by H.G. Wells. Very amazing book. But it really just deals with what constrains us and confines us as humans from a social level. So basically, are we human because we have this natural inborn trait in us to kind of observe the qualities that we consider to be humane and of humanitarian structure, or are we humans because of a social design, right? So just real quick, you know what I mean? Um, we're trained to be humans. Like children don't come out speaking English. Like they're trained to speak English. They're trained to use mathematics in a way that's functional to a growing society or a society that wishes to utilize them as a labor force, so forth and so on. But in that book, The Island of Dr. Moreau, a whip was used, and whips were used to identify humans from the beast people. It's a whole long thing. I'll get into it in the podcast. I don't want to give too much, but a lot of times the whip represents the law. A lot of times we're maintaining certain laws not because we have this human or this divine proclivity towards that particular law. We maintain certain laws because it comes at the barrel of a gun. It comes at the end of a whip. And when you start seeing people defy the whip, you're seeing the symbolism or the metaphorical process of the law breaking down. When people cease to be afraid to lose life or to see, because losing it or getting life is the same because you don't own life. But when they cease to reclaim or claim the value for life that they held to a paranoid level and go against the whip, then you'll see the burgeoning of a new order and the natural senses in people coming forward. It's like when you see an abused animal in a circus or a carnival, and like it could be a lion or an elephant getting whipped, and at some point they just push against the whip and they trample the person or they maul the person to death who's been whipping them. That's a breakdown of the law. So the law, in many senses, is taught to you almost from a religious perspective, and your ability to see through it and beyond it, now starts to push forward the natural traits that are inside of you. And now for some of those are animalistic traits. For others, they may be divine traits. But you're going to find that any law that has to be maintained by force has nothing to do with right or wrong. It has nothing to do with your placement on the planet as a divine being, because it wouldn't have to be maintained. It would be a natural inclination and proclivity for you, So private people, they push forward their divinity and they grow their character and they grow their uprightness without fear of punishment, which is the only way character can truly grow. Public people who have a servant class mindset, they do everything based upon what may happen. Again, the difference between an honest person and an honorable person. Honorable person won't do something because it's not right to do. The honest person won't do something because, they don't want to get caught doing it. They're afraid of what may happen if they're caught. So you're going to start seeing a lot more honorable people come forward because the law is breaking down and people are becoming less afraid of that whip. But yeah, like I said, I'll give a breakdown. I'm gonna do the Isle of Dr. Moreau and really get into that a little bit more. I've been off the scene. I'm still on IG lockdown too. So for people who've been wondering why I've been posting, ever since I did a post on South Africa and apartheid, they've locked me down. It's been over a month now, and I can't put up comments. I can't like anything. None of that stuff. So, it is what it is. You get. It's worth the price of admission, right? You get what you pay for. All right. So I'll see you all in podcast land.